So we're at Target this time. Who would have ever thought that you can shop keto at Target? I mean, 10 years ago, it was like Target didn't even really have a whole lot of grocery options. Now, almost all Targets have some grocery options. And the cool thing is, most of the stuff is pretty clean. So you can do clean keto shopping at Target. You just have to know what to look for. So what we're gonna do with this video is we're gonna break it down into the top 17 things that are clean keto friendly to get at Target. So here's the thing. I've been to this Target before, so I kind of know what they have, but I want to go through as if I haven't been here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go aisle for aisle and make it super, super simple. And we're going to break down different things that they have, and then we're going to put them in the cart, and then we're going to narrow it down to the top 17 if we end up over 17 items. Okay, that way we can kind of filter through and say, this one can stay, this one can go, it has some stuff we don't want. Anyhow, we're going to have a lot of fun. Target is usually pretty video friendly, so maybe we won't have to go totally covert and get kicked out. But let's go to Target. Very important when you go to Target that you don't wear red. You will get stopped everywhere and get asked questions. So I wore the opposite of red, which I believe is blue. So Target always smells like popcorn, which when you're not in keto, kind of gets you a little bit crazy because you just want popcorn. But man, I tell you, quite honestly, that's probably the biggest reason why I don't shop at Target now, is because when you're in keto, that just doesn't even sound good. Popcorn just kind of sounds gross. But this one, unfortunately, doesn't smell too much like popcorn, at least not at 8:58 in the morning. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started right here with the refrigerated section. Now, don't hate on me. Okay, I might miss things. I'm trying to make this fun and interactive. I don't have it pre-planned. I just want to make it interactive so we just see things that would work. Okay, so when we're doing keto, I've talked about this in other videos, berries are okay in moderation. Okay, like I'm talking a quarter cup, maybe half a cup at the most per day. Allocate them towards the evening time, into your day. That way you're getting the tryptophan spike. So you're getting insulin spike that allows tryptophan into the brain and allows you to sleep a little bit better. So in this particular case, I'm just gonna get some raspberries. So it's tough with the organic raspberries. Let's see. Berries are actually pretty expensive here. I'm gonna get probably more bang for the buck out of the strawberries, I think, if I'm going for the organic ones. So let's go ahead. Yeah, I mean, this will last me, for one person, this is gonna last me close to a week. I'm gonna probably have about that much per night. It's just something I might put with a little bit of heavy cream or maybe a little bit of yogurt or something like that. It's all good. Okay, but again, we're talking keto items, so this might not make the cut by the time I whittle it down to 17 items, right? Okay. The nice thing about Target, okay, they don't have like this big robust produce department, but they have some of these things that are kind of cool. I'm not a big fan of the plastics and stuff like that. We can go down that rabbit hole, but let's just be realistic here. With all these veggies here, what do you think might be the best on keto? Okay, it's gonna be between asparagus and broccoli, okay? Because asparagus has the prebiotic fibers in it, which when you start keto, your gut bacteria shifts, okay? And when your gut bacteria shifts, it's shifting in a good way. So then what you wanna do is you wanna have prebiotic fibers that act as fertilizer within your gut and kind of grows the now good bacteria even more. So we've made the shift to positive, now we feed that positive more. Broccoli is great, but I can get broccoli in the frozen section a lot easier than I can fresh, okay? So asparagus that's frozen does not come out that good. Asparagus, I try to get fresh whenever I can. So $3.19, that's actually not a bad price, because this is a good chunk of it. I grabbed two by mistake. I'm just gonna grab one. Still a good amount. I am gonna grab two, but I'm gonna count it as one item, because my wife and I will both eat this. I think my target amount here, Target's a little bit expensive, but my target amount is probably gonna be around the ballpark of 200 bucks, and mind you, I'm a family of three, okay? So that's not the cheapest, but I'm gonna try to keep it under 200 bucks. But again, we're narrowing it down to 17 items, so it's not just about being super frugal, it's about getting 17 good items, right? Okay, when it comes down to the greens, totally up to you, right? I think spring mix is great. Spinach, the reason that I am a fan of spinach, and I know people will have what they have to say about oxalates and everything like that, but honestly, I think the amount of oxalates in spinach is minimal. We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole again because this is fun. Like, I don't wanna be negative here. The nice thing about spinach is spinach has a high amount of vitamin D in it, believe it or not. So you actually can get some good effect out of that. Let's go ahead not the cheapest spinach, I will say that. Still, that's not bad. $3.99. I'm already having to kind of play this favorites game here. I've already got 3 of 17 items, right? So what am I going to do? I might have to end up putting some stuff back. Okay. You have to be really careful with the dressings. I've talked about this in other videos. So even if they're in the refrigerated section, it doesn't mean that they don't have preservatives. Okay, people tend to think that. Buttermilk, yogurt. Like this one's okay, but white grape juice concentrate, xanthan gum, still not the cleanest. But then let's look at like Bob's blue cheese. Okay. Ooh, okay. Soybean oil, canola oil, already off to not a good start there. Okay, then we've got egg yolks, which is okay. Mustard flour. Yeah, definitely not the best stuff. Non-fat milk powder, so that's pure like milk sugar and just kind of garbage there. So definitely, that's why you just have to be careful, okay? Sometimes the stuff in the refrigerated section isn't all that good. Okay, now I'm looking around here and I can go avocados, and I'm looking at the prices here. $5.99 for bagged avocado, or $6.99 for 4 count. You know what, bang for the buck, to be completely honest. I think once again, it's better for me to almost just get guacamole. Like, it's easier for me to travel with. The ingredients here are still good. Hass avocado, vinegar, water, jalapeno peppers, salt, dehydrated onion, and granulated garlic. That's still really darn clean. And honestly, I think I'm gonna get more out of this because you guys know, like, you cut open an avocado and it's gonna last for like a day, right? I feel like this is a better choice for what I'm after. Nothing wrong with fresh avocado, and don't get me wrong, I get fresh avocado all the time. I'm just trying to help you narrow it down here. It's worth a mention that kombucha is tricky. I talk about this all the time. Kombucha is usually not keto friendly. 9 grams of carbs, 2 servings per container, or 18 grams of carbs in that bad boy. And they're almost all like that. This company, Keto, makes these probiotic, yeah, see, here's a good example. Okay, so same kind of thing. It's a probiotic drink, okay, but it's not kombucha. But what they do is they take kefir and they make it, what do you call it, water kefir, which is made slightly different. It's made without like the tea. So they take sparkling water kefir cultures, they start a culture, and then they go ahead and add whatever, apple cider vinegar, 0 carbs, 2 servings. This stuff is awesome. If I wasn't on a 17 item limit here, I'd grab that. But they also get expensive, right? I mean, it's gonna blow your budget, but it's a nice little drink if you normally drink kombucha and you wanna try something different. Whenever possible, I recommend getting your meats out of the way first. This is gonna be the part that blows the budget for you the quickest. So if you're working on a budget, it makes a lot more sense for you to get your meats first, because then you kind of know where you're at. You get the staples of what you're eating on your keto diet, and then you kind of get the, I don't know, the frilly stuff later. Get the no frills, important stuff first. Still, I mean, I'm in California, so these prices are inflated a little bit. Wow, well, this is kind of cool. So $3 off this package of meat. So this is already got a special discount, probably because it expires tomorrow. So that's not the greatest thing, but I will probably cook this up today. So that's cool. I like the thin sliced breast too. So we're normally looking $8.99 a pound. Yeah, since I'm saving $3, I'm gonna get a couple of those and cook that up. You gotta look for these kind of things. Organic doesn't always mean that it's the best. Okay, so when you're going with poultry, go for the leaner cuts of meat, okay? Because the poultry, the fatty acid profile of chicken, of turkey, of white meat is not as good as it is in red meat. So you wanna keep it leaner here. So that means like things like this, like the chicken thighs, the drumsticks, they're not terrible on keto and you can have them, but you're better off to leave your fatty cuts of meat to the red meat, okay? Just better fatty acid profile. So I don't want to stock up on this because it looks like it's all kind of bad. We've got the hallway sweeper coming here, so it might kill our audio for a second. So here's the cool thing. This one's organic, this one's not. If you can't get organic and you need to save some money, you want to look for it to say no antibiotics ever, because the FDA allows them to say antibiotic free as long as they haven't had antibiotics, I believe it's in the last 30 days, okay? So that's something to be very, very aware of. Okay, and then we've got, man, they've got all these salmon things going on here, but they're all like expiring. Oops, dang it. Yeah, Best Buy 824, that's tomorrow. Okay, so that makes it really hard on the fish, so we might have to get that out of the frozen section. Again, if you're on a budget, that's something to pay attention to. Okay, ground meat. When it comes to beef, my go-to is usually ground meat, and that's simply because it's easier to break down, easier to masticate, just digest in general. Oh, here we go. It's 100% grass-fed. Yeah, 85 or they've got 90. Okay, I'm gonna go for the 90. So get the leaner whenever possible. You always wanna try to control your fats from fat sources that you know. And I can't always determine what's gonna be in the fatty acid profile of meat, okay? I didn't raise the cow, I don't know. Okay, so I've got a little bit of meat there. Okay. Cheeses. We do this in all our videos, kind of hit the cheese section. So this is tough because cheese is one of those items where do I really want to have it be in my 17? Because the casein proteins in cheese are not the greatest things, right? When you look at cheeses like Parmesan is aged for so long that it ends up killing off a lot of the lactose anyway. So Parmesan's a great cheese to have, but it's a sharp taste and it's overpowering. So you don't always want that just on all your meals, right? It tastes good on a salad or something like that, but it's almost better to go for a goat cheese or something like that. So normally my go-to cheese, I'm not gonna get it today, would be goat cheese. Okay, different kind of casein protein, so it's easier on the system, easier to break down. Let's see. Oh, cottage cheese. Let's see what their cottage cheeses are like here. All right. So they've got the cottage cheese I would normally go to, which is Good Culture. Okay, it's a few ingredients. That stuff is the bomb. If you see that at your store, go for that. They're out of the flavor that doesn't, it's just plain, okay? They only have the fruit flavors, which of course, even with Good Culture, it's great, but it's real fruit, but we don't want that on keto. So let's take a look at, oh, and also with the cottage cheese, go for the full fat stuff. Okay, right now they've got 1%. Man, someone wiped out the cottage cheese. Let's see. Oh man, I mean, this is disappointing. Like, look at this. Okay, non-fat milk, cream, whey. That's somewhat normal. Maltodextrin, so they're adding a starch in there. Citric acid, lactic acid, phosphoric acid, potassium chloride, sodium gluconate, guar gum, carrageenan, modified cornstarch, what on earth is that? It's like mostly preservative. Just to give you an idea, if you get like Good Culture, skim milk, whole milk, cream, and then it's got strawberries because this has got the flavors in it. But probably could show some footage real quick. We've got some at the office. Show a quick blip of the label there. Like that stuff's clean. So that doesn't make the cut. Milk, definitely not keto. So we want to avoid that. Let's see. Man, they're like out of everything. It's a tough one. Oh, here's a good one to talk about. Oat milk. It's been coming up a lot lately. Okay, oat milk is milk made from oats. Usually there is trace amounts of gluten in it. Now this one I know says no dairy, no nuts, no gluten. But I've seen this one before because I got excited because oat milk has a nice rich taste and it would normally work on keto. This one I think is, this one has sugar in it, but some of them are unsweetened. But anyway, just to give you an idea, oat milk, okay, so it's made with rapeseed oil, which is already toxic because that's how they make canola, okay? Rape seeds are toxic. Dipotassium phosphate, calcium carbonate, tricalcium. I mean, we're just looking at a lot of different stuff in there. I don't like that, considering that. Again, normally they have, wow, they're out of everything. Ripple is a good one to go with. I am gonna get some almond milk. And just so you know, flax milk is good too. So if you're looking for something different, Target has flax milk. I think this one again has some sweetener in it, but they do have unsweetened flax. Nice thing with flax, high alpha linoleic acid. What that means is it's an omega-3 that has a hard time converting to an omega-3 that's usable in the body, but it's still a good omega-3. You still have like a 1 to 2% conversion rate. So it's better than a kick in the teeth, and it's probably better than almond milk at that rate. But I don't think they have the unsweetened one. Oh, here's the other oat milk. Here's like plain. See, even this one. See, they add sweetener to it. So So in this case, I don't want cashew milk. Okay, cashew is too sweet. I want good old almond milk, but I'm on somewhat of a budget. So what kind of almond milk should I go for? $2.99 here for this almond coconut, filtered water. This isn't bad. I mean, it's gonna have some gums in there, but I do eat almond milk or drink almond milk a lot, so let's go with it. All right, bacon, let's see. You know what's wild is when you actually compare turkey bacon and regular bacon, people think that turkey bacon is healthier. The funny thing is that the actual raising process of turkey is so much worse that you end up with a lot more just nonsense in turkey bacon than you do in regular bacon. So even though the regular bacon is higher fat and higher saturated fat, it's coming from a specific area of the pig, whereas the fat that is marbled in with turkey bacon is usually lower quality. So when you are trying to figure out which one to go with, I would usually go with regular bacon over turkey bacon. I don't see a whole lot of good options, and bacon isn't a necessity, so let's just leave that off. Here's the hard thing about having me do a top 17 items at Target video. Most people want to see, okay, the fun, tasty keto options that they have. I spend almost all of my budget and almost all of my money in this section because I'm all about clean keto. So it makes it kind of hard because I'm gonna end up blowing a lot of my budget here. By the time I get to what most people would consider the fun stuff, I've already ruined it. So I'm trying to curb it a little bit, Wow, I probably could have saved some money on berries here, but I do like fresh. This stuff's a no-go, forget all that. All right, creamers. A lot has happened in the way of creamers now. Let's see, got an employee behind you, just so you know, just in case. I think he's just a stalker, but yeah.
Nice on sale.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, they make a snickerdoodle. Okay. All right. So with creamers, obviously you can go with heavy whipping cream. You are going to want to use heavy whipping cream over half and half because half and half has the milk sugars. If you've watched my grocery haul videos, forgive the redundancy here. Okay, I just still have to explain it. Heavy cream is going to be a cleaner fat content because it's not going to have all of the nonsensical stuff that comes with half and half of still in the milk. Cream is still not amazing stuff, but pentadecanoic and heptadecanoic, those are the fatty acids that are in milk, and there have been studies that actually show that the fats from dairy aren't bad for you. In fact, there's a lower incidence of cardiovascular disease with the fats that come from dairy. It's the other stuff in dairy that's bad. So heavy cream could work. Let's see here. Or the other stuff is if you want to go more plant-based, the thing I like about this half and half with Ripple, first of all, it's on sale. That helps me out a lot. I can use this for all kinds of things. So DHA omega-3s. So it has algal oil in it. Okay, DHA algal oil. Algal oil is cool stuff. It's an omega-3 that comes from algae. Okay, so omega-3s are created in algae, and then plankton and fish eat that and that and that. That's how fish magically have omega-3s. But the omega-3s actually come and are rooted from the algae. So when you are trying to do something a little bit different, like you might as well reduce the inflammatory components going in your body and go with this one. Plus it's on sale, so I'm going with that. That's it for creamers. Now obviously you can use the heavy cream for other things. Again, everything's gonna vary, but it's interesting, you're still getting a peek into the life of what shopping with me is like, right? Cream cheese, this stuff is great, expensive, but good. Okay, it's an almond-based cream cheese, but in my opinion, it actually tastes even better than cream cheese. This stuff is so good. I do so much cooking with it. Again, you're not having the inflammatory components. Some would argue that the almonds would have like a phytic acid effect and be negative. And to an extreme, yes. Like if you were to have a ton of it, yeah, it'd be a problem. Do I want to have it in my budget, my 17 items? Maybe I'll come back for it, okay? It's not a staple, but eggs are important. Ooh. Each pretty large brown. Okay, so eggs get interesting. Vital Farms makes really good eggs. These guys, like, they raise their chickens right, I think, because they taste really, really good. Let's see, $4.99 for a dozen, or it can go. So big difference between cage-free and pasture-raised. That's the thing. So I might only spend, you know, $3 versus $5, but I can get by with less of the pasture-raised eggs. Organic, free range. I don't know about this brand. I've never heard of it before. laid on small family farms, hormone-free, pesticide-free, antibiotic-free. That doesn't mean that they're never raised with antibiotics though. So I'm trying to see if there's anything here that indicates that. Okay, it's like the same price. I guess it comes down to Arkansas versus Austin, Texas. I'm gonna try something new. Arkansas gets the win today. All right, again, 17 items. You can get this stuff anywhere, so I don't wanna just, again, blow the budget on cheeses if I don't need it. Like, we can get our fats all kinds of different places. You guys notice that I barely even looked at this section behind the cameraman here, right? So it's like, why? Because this stuff is garbage, like processed meats. I don't want to stock up on that. I appreciate that they're trying to make some of these things a little bit more keto friendly. These are interesting. Actually, this is kind of cool. I mean, that's cool. Like if you're gonna have a snack, have it with dill pickles. That's kind of cool. A little bit of preservatives in there, but not much. I don't know if it wants to meet my 17 items, but it's kind of cool. I mean, that's a nice healthy snack. When you are, you know what, I'm gonna get it because that's really cool. And the nice thing is on keto, I feel like this is a good snack to have because you usually are deficient in electrolytes, like your minerals are depleted. You go through a demineralization process. So this is a good thing if you feel like you are getting fatigued or if you're going through the keto flu, just grab some pickle snacks. Now, we could get other pickles too and probably save some money, but I just like this. This is cool just to have a snack on the go. Apparently Friday is when they run out of like stock and they restock because there's so many things that are marked as clearance. I'm just noticing. Yeah. If you're gonna go with little cheeses, these are kind of nice too. These Baby Bell cheeses. They just taste good. Okay. Not the best frozen meat options here. I mean, it's kind of, I gotta give some major props to Jenny O here. No antibiotics ever. That's nice. I mean, for a big brand like Jenny O, dang, that's actually impressive. Turkey, salt, and rosemary extract. Okay, I mean, it's not organic, but for the price we pay, $7, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna grab those. So how many items am I at right now? Okay. Again, we're trying to make it fun. 17 items, right? Okay, so we've got, man, I'm adding up already. 1, 2, 3, actually, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, it's gonna be an elimination process here soon. More frozen and refrigerated. All right, Greek yogurt is my jam. Okay, I love this stuff, but it looks like they're out of the smaller ones. Go for the higher fat stuff. Here's the thing. Still have some carbs in it, okay? So 1/4 of this has 7 grams of carbs. You just don't want to go overboard, okay? It is good as a probiotic sense. We just want to be careful with it. So this does make my cut because I feel like it's a big staple around my house to have some good quality probiotic effect yogurt. I always feel like frozen seafood's the way to go. If you've watched my grocery haul videos, then you know that frozen seafood is the way to get good wild caught stuff. Pollock, Alaskan sockeye salmon, all wild caught versus farm raised. You get farm raised, you get wild caught so much cheaper when you get it frozen, and it's frozen there at the source. So it's just so much better. What else we got here? Okay, I am gonna get my broccoli. Again, same kind of thing with frozen broccoli. It's frozen when it's picked. So, because it's frozen when it's picked, it means that it's preserving all the nutrients. It's not going through this oxidation process as it's going on the truck and everything like that. I have to get down to brass tacks here. What do I want? Tilapia, no go. Swai, no go. Flounder. That's a good price on flounder. Actually, I'm gonna get some wild caught flounder. That's actually not bad that they have that. Okay. Okay. So definitely running out of some options here in terms of like my selection. This stuff is kind of cool, by the way, though. We've actually given this has some preservatives and it has some garbage in it. It has, you know, white cheddar cheese, it has some cream, it has some Parmesan cheese, it has some other stuff. It's really not that bad though. It's all just, it's an organic stuff, so I mean, it's good. So these are actually really cool things. If you like cauliflower rice, this might be a good option to have. I'm gonna hold off for now because it's not a staple, but I think it's a really cool Target item. So let's see, we got, what could I get rid of for this? I think this is cooler, so I'm gonna get this. I got white cheddar and I got cauliflower risotto. Pretty awesome. I'm gonna count those as one item and I'm gonna put back the pickles. Just hang on. And if you guys ever wanna have fun when you're shopping, do this. Be like, I'm gonna get no more than 20 items. It just forces you to cut out the fluff. I really encourage you to check it out. Like Halo Top obviously would work every now and then, but is it gonna fit within my, no, it's not. Ice cream, not happening. I just never realized how big the frozen section was here. I don't even know if I've ever been down this aisle. Uncrustables, totally keto. Not. The pizza aisle, see if there's a cauliflower crust or something. You know, it's so wild about Target. I think it is like a mind warp for people. You go to Target and like my wife can go to Target and she'll just walk out and spend a couple $100 and be like, I don't know what happened. Like they always joke. I always talk to like ladies in particular that are like, I don't know what happens when I go to Target. It's like I go there and they like suck your soul out and you just end up buying all kinds of weird stuff that you don't need. It's really funny. Like how many people go to Target and end up just not knowing what the heck they're even buying. Okay, so as we get into more of the regular aisles and things like that, let me address something really quick. A lot of the options that I'm talking about that are in this section are much easier to get online, but I understand that you're going to a grocery store and you're trying to get stuff. So I wanted to give a big shout out and also a cool opportunity if you guys want to check out Thrive Market. So like a lot of these things at Thrive end up being cheaper than they are at the grocery store. So for example, Thrive Market's an online grocery store and you can actually shop keto options at Thrive. So you can filter by keto, which is really cool. So for me, for instance, I've been able to create an actual keto bundle that I purchase, and I've been able to release that keto bundle out to the public. So down below in the description, after you watch this video, you can check out Thrive Market and you can actually get my keto or my fasting bundles. And you can just order them and it ends up being cheaper than the grocery store and it's delivered right to your doorstep, so you don't have to go to the grocery store if you don't want to. So all the things that I'm showing you here are things that you could get on Thrive, or at Thrive I should say. Doesn't mean that brand for brand it's gonna be specific, but it's a cool option. So after you watch this video, check them out down below, special pricing and a special bundle with keto options and fasting options. All right, so now having said that, what kind of nut butters do I potentially want? Or do I even want them? Peanut butter, peanuts are a legume, so it ends up being not as good on keto. Obviously, honey almond butter, avoid. Dark chocolate almond butter, avoid. It gets tough. And the Maranatha one, this one tastes amazing. But first of all, $8. But second of all, it's sneaky. Okay, they add a bunch of sugar. Almonds, evaporated cane sugar, palm oil, and sea salt. So they definitely end up kind of, you're like, oh cool, it's nice and clean. And then it tastes good, but yeah, it tastes good because it's got sugar in it. So do I even want this stuff? Peanut butter is just a great way to just add a bunch of calories and just mess yourself up. This PB2 stuff is also really awesome, but it adds up in carbs. Okay, so what you lose in calories, you make up in carbs because it's consolidated. They've defatted peanuts. So you've got pure peanuts without the fat. So it's just all consolidated into a powder, which means you're getting the carbs. It's okay, again, in moderation, or to sprinkle into a protein shake or something like that. And the sun butter here is normally good, but they don't have the unsweetened option. Again, roasted sunflower seeds, sugar, and salt. Not even evaporated cane. They just go straight for the sugar, straight for the jugular there. So if you're on the go or something like that, these little packets are great. Okay, these little Justin's packets. But again, you gotta be careful. Okay, vanilla has sugar added to it. The classic does not. The classic does not. But cashew butter isn't really what you want to go for. I'm gonna hold off. Ooh, nice. What's this? Tiny tots. This is cool. Okay, sardines are a big thing for me. Okay, look at what caught my eye was right when it was sitting there, 2,500 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids per serving. And it just so happens that sardines happen to be really high in docosahexaenoic acid, DHA. So there's an acronym I want you to remember, okay? It's SMASH, S-M-A-S-H. Stands for sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon, and herring. These are the fish that you want when you want good brain health and good omega-3s. I noticed they also have anchovies here. The hard part with anchovies is they're usually heavily salted. So 300 milligrams for 1 can versus this has, actually, wow, surprisingly, these are, oh, wait a minute. Haha, I thought something was off. This is anchovies in the place, but they had sardines there. The anchovies are way back there. Let's take a look. Now let's see this. Sodium is good, but maybe not this much. 900 milligrams, 2.5 servings per can. So you can see, like, if you can get anchovies that aren't covered in salt, sure. I'm gonna get the sardines. These definitely are making my cut. So if I had to choose like sardines over tuna or anything like that, hands down be sardines. Everyone gives canned fish a bad rap. Canned fish is okay, and again, I sound like a broken record because I talk about this in all of my videos, but albacore is more mercury. You want the chunk light or the skipjack, which is essentially kind of the same thing. So I've got my sardines now. Time for a quick count. Where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm gonna have to trim some fat. This is a problem. All right, let's keep going. At the very least, you still get to learn with me. I mean, because I may not be picking everything because I'm narrowing it down, but okay, do they have a sugar, no sugar added marinara? Doesn't look like it. It's probably not a staple. Marinara, so tomato obviously has some sugar in it, just naturally, so it adds up. But I love making bolognese, I love doing things like that. It's so easy to make. Cook up some ground meat, some ground turkey, ground chicken, add some marinara to it. You've got bolognese, it tastes good. It tastes like you're, you know, eating pasta, right? And then you can add some zucchini noodles or something like that. I'm gonna pass on all this stuff. If you're not keto, by the way, this stuff is awesome. Banza is great. Chickpea pasta. So whenever I do go off keto and whenever I'm cycling through and like adding some different carbohydrates into the mix, that is a staple for me. Any of these options specifically keto? I mean, some of them we could make keto. Hot sauces, you could call them keto. Water's keto. You know, I mean, all these things. Vinegar's keto, right? So it's like, I can make this interesting and call everything keto, but I also want to be honest. Oh, sweet. Okay, so they've got Sir Kensington. Ah, yes. Okay, they've got the good stuff. Sir Kensington's avocado oil mayonnaise. This is cool. Now, all kinds of companies like Mark Sisson's Primal Kitchen makes this stuff, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love you, Mark, but this stuff is much more affordable. So avocado oil, certified humane free range egg yolks, water, distilled vinegar, lime juice, mustard flour, mustard extract, black pepper, lime oil. So that's pretty darn cool. I will scrap something out of my cart in order to get this because I can live on this. Like good, healthy fats there. I'm probably gonna end up getting rid of the berries because I can deal without those in keto. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to create a separate file that is for omitted items. Burn, you're gone. You're fired. Pickles. I already put my pickles back. No one wants an unwanted pickle. Birch Benders, this company, when my baby was a little baby and not growing up way too fast, we used to give him these paleo pancakes all the time. Cassava starch, which is really awesome stuff. Organic coconut flour, almond flour, eggs, and leavening. So it was like, and monk fruit. It was really cool. So you just added water. It was really cool pancakes. Since then, they've come out with a keto one. And I think this is the spot right here. I'm pretty sure this, actually maybe not, it just says gluten-free, but I don't know. But I know I've seen them here before. So as much as I would love to have, this item would 100% be on my list. It would, because these are great things. But they don't have my keto option. So I can't, in good faith, put it in my cart today. But it's worth noting that Birch Benders has some really awesome stuff. So look for their keto pancakes. Their paleo pancakes will be okay if you have maybe just one of them, but you can't just have one. That's the hard part. All right, then we've got my baking chocolate. You guys know me, right? Okay, so it's a toss-up. Okay, I'm limited on items, right? So what do I go with? Do I go unsweetened baking chocolate that I could melt down and add stevia to? Or do I go cocoa powder that I can mix in some almond milk and make a nice hot chocolate with some stevia? Do I go hot chocolate or do I go chocolate bar? Okay, I'm gonna go chocolate bar. $2.29, $2.49. I'm just gonna go for the Target brand. So this is straight up unsweetened baking chocolate, bitter stuff. Melt it down and you add stevia or some monk fruit to it. Use some Lakanto, use some stevia, whatever, and then put it on some wax paper and put it in the freezer and you've got keto chocolate. Have a little chunk of it before bed and you're in business. All right, do I need to get rid of anything? So as I'm filtering through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Sorry, Ripple, I can live without you. Isn't this fun? I mean, maybe it's not because we're having to get rid of so much good stuff. Okay, my coconut oil. Again, I have plenty of coconut oil at the house, so I'm kind of trying to like narrow it down to what I think are the coolest top options. Okay, so it's kind of interesting that they have olive oil as a cooking spray. You guys know olive oil is a very fragile fat. It's a fat that does not do well at a high smoke point. So you should not be cooking in olive oil. You should be cooking in coconut oil or cooking in avocado oil. And I don't see an avocado oil spray. I see more olive oil. So, I mean, all these oils here, again, they're not gonna make my cut because you can get these oils anywhere, but you just wanna know coconut oil is good to go, avocado oil is good to go. Don't be afraid of the saturated fats in coconut oil, okay? It's not saturated fats that end up causing any kind of atherosclerosis. It's inflammation that does. I don't think that warrants putting it into the basket right now, though. I never realized how hard it is to narrow it down to 17 items. My wheel just got stuck on something. There we go. Ooh, Tahava is good stuff. Some powerful tea. Oh, good question that comes up all the time. Will these things kick you out of keto? No, they won't kick you out of keto. Okay, these artificial sweeteners and drink mixes. Some of them break a fast. I did a full video that broke down like all the top flavors and all the top brands and which ones technically would break a fast and which ones wouldn't. It's kind of wild stuff when you look at some of them because some of them actually put, like this one, it's actually a really good company and I like what they're doing. But here's this, check this out. Concentrated white grape juice. So even though it's supposed to be a stevia sweetened calorie-free drink, it has white grape juice in it. So that would kick you out of a fast, for instance. Okay, so we don't want that. Anyway, just a note there. So this has a bunch of aspartame in it, so not necessarily something you want to be having copious amounts of. So let's just leave those out of the equation. Definitely not going to be worthy of a trip here right now. I used to get these all the time until I realized I was consuming way too much of them and having way too much in the way of, let's see, yeah, there's this, the sucralose. But also just look at all the other stuff in it. Let me grab another color that you might see better. Carbonated water, malic acid, which is okay, malic, whatever. Vegetable juice for color, not too bad. Sodium benzoate, gum arabic, green tea extract, biotin, vitamin B3. Okay, so it's got all these other things added to it, but way too much sucralose that just adds up. Again, not gonna make the cut. Okay, so don't think there's gonna be a lot here. If you get down to the nitty gritty, sometimes you can find some things that would be keto friendly, but a lot of things are also very deceiving. Okay, they'll say that they're made with cauliflower, they'll say that they're made with, like this is a good example. Hey, guess what? Whoops, Doritos trying to sabotage me. Chickpea veggie crisps. But then you get to it, first ingredient's rice flour, then it's chickpea flour. It's crazy how many companies just, and they, quite frankly, I think they play on like busy moms and things like that are running through the store and they're trying to get healthy options for their kiddos. And they're like, oh my gosh, chickpea veggie crisps, great. Or sweet potato, like they're trying to do the right thing, but then they take a look at the label later on, or maybe they never do. And they're just getting kind of bamboozled. It's just not fair. I think we all fall victim to that sometimes. So just be careful. These things are another thing, nut thins. Okay, you think that they're gonna be made with nuts, but it's rice flour, then almonds. It's just a bummer. Again, is it better than just totally modified starch? Yeah, it's better. These cheese wisps. Well, these are cool. I mean, these could be keto friendly. They're definitely keto friendly, but they could make my list. We'll hold off for now, because I'm really cutting it close. Got 15 items, so I got 2 more things that can make the cut. Most of these beef jerkies. So these guys are cool. They're actually from Sonoma, which is the hometown that I'm from. I'm from Sonoma. But they got bought out. I can't remember who they got bought out by. Anyway, they turned kind of weird. And all their stuff has a bunch of sugar and high fructose corn syrup now. So, all right. The nuts department. My eyes went straight here. These are making the cut no matter what. I'm making it happen. Okay, plain old Target Mac nuts. They're expensive, they're 10 bucks, but I don't know why, but the Target macadamia nuts are like roasted extra hard. Like look at this, like they're like brown and kind of burnt. It tastes so good. I don't think it's killing any of the fats out of it. I don't think it's going through lipid peroxidation, which is where you cook fats so much they denature. They seem to be pretty good, and I feel pretty good when I eat these. I can usually tell, my system's pretty clear, so when I have foods that have been just adulterated, I don't feel good. I feel pretty good when I eat these. So if you're tossing up between all these different nuts here, yeah, Mac nuts all the way. These are kind of cool though. What's this? Rosemary and sea salt. It's kind of cool. Ah, man. Okay, this is exactly where, okay, you start getting these flavored almonds. Again, I'm not trying to just be pessimistic. Like, by all means, if you are doing keto and you just need some good options, like just to be staying keto, right? All this stuff is, for the most part, oh, sound like you crashed, is all pretty good. And it's better than not being keto. But I'm trying to level you up and educate you a little bit so that you can be annoying to your friends. Okay, vegetable oil, canola oil. Okay, why are you taking a perfectly good fatty acid profile of an almond and then killing it with the fatty acid crap profile of canola oil? It just kills me. It's like you got a perfectly good, healthy nut there. Same kind of thing with these. Like, okay, cool. We got habanero barbecue, but then you look at, oh my gosh, like you should be almonds with some flavoring, and look at that ingredient list. Okay, we got almonds, then we got canola oil once again, then we got sugar hidden in there, salt, okay, then we got molasses powder, which is cane refinery syrup and molasses, vinegar powder, maltodextrin. It just goes on and on. I just wanted some almonds that taste good. Same kind of thing. It's a bummer. Like, so it's almost better just to go for lightly salted or something simple, which even these, yeah. So roasted, right? Apparently they're roasted with vegetable oil. So they don't usually have them, but you almost want roasted that doesn't have oil added to them. So anyhow, that's where I stand with these. So I got 16 items. I got 1 item left that I can get. Oh, this stuff's cool, except, so when I first discovered these guys, this Virgil's, this root beer, I was over the moon. I loved it, and I consumed it like crazy. And then I went back and I had it one time, and I got super bloated. And I was like, what the heck happened? And I looked at it, and I was like, oh, they added erythritol. It used to be stevia and monk fruit. Now there's erythritol in it, which I don't mind erythritol, but I get a little critical of it because it can bloat you. And when I'm looking for something that I just want, like maybe during a fast, I normally wouldn't have a bunch of erythritol during a fast. So I was like distended. I'm like, why? And I think the combination of the sugar alcohols from the erythritol plus carbonation, I was like 7 months pregnant. Okay, so none of these beverages, I don't know, Fresca, I mean, they're still just got garbage in them. All right. So I can either find a new item, because I've got 1 item left that I can add, or I can put the Ripple creamer back, because I think it's kind of interesting. So I can do without the fruit on keto. I mean, tons of people don't have fruit on keto. It's not a necessity. And quite frankly, it's not like I'm getting a bunch of vitamins and minerals out of that. It's purely a taste satisfaction thing. Like the amount of vitamins and minerals I'm gonna get from fruit and fiber, I mean, I might as well get from my greens, right? So, yeah. I think this is what we're narrowing it down to. I think the Ripple makes the cut again. Let's go ahead and put her on back. Hey, not too bad, to be honest. You got a lot of education out of this, but we didn't have to do a whole lot of filtering. I was pretty good at determining which ones I needed, which ones I didn't, but all the while still was able to teach you along the way. Target has some really good options. Like, kudos to them. Kudos for actually making it possible to do keto. Heck yeah. let's go ahead and let's check out and let's see what our overall price was. I actually don't think we're gonna be close to $200. I don't think this would feed a whole family. I think this is something that would probably, I don't know, maybe a family of 2, and you might have some leftover. It's so hard to say, hey, this is my budget for a month or a week or anything like that, because so much stuff carries over. Like, am I gonna eat all those turkey burgers in a week? I hope not. Am I going to eat all of this chicken? Probably. Am I gonna eat all the frozen salmon or all the frozen flounder? Probably not. So it all blends in. So I recommend when you're setting a weekly grocery budget, it needs to be a revolving budget, which at the end of the month, you need to add up everything you've spent each week and then divide it by 4, and that's more like your actual budget. So it really should be more of a monthly thing rather than a weekly thing. However, you can't really do monthly grocery shopping if you're getting good quality foods that are perishable.
Is there bags for these?
Yes, please.
Remember how much that was?
Shoot, I want to say it was $6.99, $7. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
No, not bad at all. Thanks, man.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. Okay, sweet. Oh, sweet. All right. 112? Holy cow. All right. I mean, this would be sufficient. I could absolutely live off this, and my wife could probably live off of this too. Again, something I talk about in my videos all the time is that when you're in keto, the beta-hydroxybutyrate actually makes it so that you don't need as much in the way of protein. Okay, it's leucine sparing, so it makes it so that you're not actually burning up as much muscle tissue simply throughout the day, which means you get by with less protein. So I didn't have to spend a whole lot of money on meat anyway, because I don't need a ton of it. I probably will eat more than that, like when you start factoring in the different kinds of meats I got. But quite frankly, I feel pretty satisfied with what I got for 112 bucks. Especially when you start playing that elimination game and you realize you don't need to have all this crazy fluffy stuff. It's pretty easy to eat keto. It's pretty easy to keep it clean. Let's go ahead and let's load this up in the car and get on back. Easy money. So I'm pretty happy, 112 bucks, and I feel like I got the groceries that quite frankly I needed. I didn't get any of the nonsense items, but I still feel good that I showed you the way and some other cool items that you can get at Target. If you guys want me to do a little bit more in-depth of this, where I maybe break down other items that aren't keto or anything like that, put them down in the comment section below. Or if you have some foods that you've seen at Target that I didn't point out that you know are keto friendly and that are really interesting, then please do let me know, because I want to know about them. But also, I just like to hear what people have at their neighborhood Targets. All right, so until the next grocery haul or until the next video that we do pretty much every single day, stay keto, keep it clean, and I'll see you soon.